Greetings, friends, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Remy Wins a Lot Show, and the last of our pre-E3 2017 coverage. And it's been a long road, and thanks for coming along with us, and it's been absolutely, I think, a ton of fun to discuss E3, get hyped for it, talk about possibilities.
Always is.
What we want to see, what we hope you want to see, and it's the magical time of year we all hope it to be. We're done with the top 3 big publishers, of course, at this point. So today we are tackling third-party development. Now this is a landmine. I mean, this is a field of terribleness because honestly, it's tough. Third parties make some of the best moments of E3, and then Square-Enix has some of the worst presentations I've ever seen in my life. So,
but be clear, when you say the best moments, you mean best moments as in that this is a really good moment, and this is a really bad moment, but it's good because it's so bad.
Yeah, it's we see a lot of them.
Aisha Taylor,
every year, Konami, was it 2009 or whatever that
so, needless to say, third parties is a tough discussion, and I'm thankfully joined for the last time of pre-E3 2017 by Pat and Mike again from Tube Socks. Thanks again, guys, for joining me. We're going to swim through it, right? We're going to get through this.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, this one's going to be a little rougher, guys. There's a lot of games to discuss, and we do want to talk about all the major publishers. And, well, if we forget one or two of the smaller publishers, it's just because we don't have that much time on the show, and we want to make sure we can get through everything.
So much.
So much.
We gotta go.
So, we're going to start quick and easy. Activision. A pretty decent year by the look of it. You got Call of Duty World War II. We're going to see a lot on that game. It's going to be on probably Sony stage.
It's going to be.
And I think it looks good for me personally. It's kind of back to the Call of Duty style I know I'm personally excited about. So
my favorite Call of Duty is always going to be Call of Duty 2. So that's
I agree.
I would say with the same amount of disappointment until it proves otherwise.
I can definitely understand that. So I think it's got a lot to prove at this year E3. It will be on Sony's main stage for sure. That's where it's been for the last 3 years with the exclusivity changing. So I'm super excited about this title for the single player, multiplayer. You kids are gonna beat me down. I can't play with you anymore. Sorry. You talk terrible things about my mother. Leave her out of it. You got Destiny.
She's a good woman.
You got Destiny 2. I think is wild card. Destiny 1 has some problems.
I played the game way too long.
I did as well, and you know what? All I want from Destiny 2 is another fantastic Cade bartender trailer. Do that, Activision.
Yeah, it was a great trailer.
Make a decent story and I'll be happy.
Yeah, I think Destiny 2 pretty much goes through the motions, learning from what they made mistakes on. I think the fact that Bungie is handling the DLC schedule for this game and distribution is probably going to bode much better.
I feel like once they got it going, Bungie was the one who was in control of Destiny 1 anyways.
But Activision still had the coin purse.
Yeah, they did. They did.
And not figuratively, literally, whatever you want to take that, but like they owned, the monetary rights to that game.
And 1 was plagued with a lot of development issues and people leaving and coming. So 2, they basically made sure that since the 1 was, as much as if you liked it or didn't like it, it was a breakaway success for them. So they're going to take their time with it.
Yeah, and it's running on Battle.net servers on PC if it ever makes it out. I have hopeful feelings for Destiny 2. I think a lot of us enjoyed Destiny 1, just ran out of stuff to do.
I honestly feel like this seems to be the Destiny they wanted to make from the start.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, you have Activision and Blizzard runs the most successful paid subscription MMO on the planet. I don't know how this conversation didn't happen earlier, but I'm really happy it's happening now. And I have high hopes. Destiny 2 could fix a lot of problems.
Give me a Cade 6.
Yeah.
Cade 6. I will love you.
I think a wild card for Activision is, do we see Skylanders this year? I don't know. Is Skylanders done?
Yeah.
It should be. It should have been done 2 years ago.
Does it go to Skylanders Academy?
Everything about it is successful. Everything about it is like in limbo. That's the big problem. Like this last set was the most successful one in years because they didn't put out as many.
I agree. Yeah,
because you made them too. That was the big draw.
Yeah.
And if Disney drops out again, Disney was dropping out of everything.
But they did. Yeah.
But if Disney drops out, you know that it's not a business venture that most big companies want to take anymore.
Yeah, I think Activision maybe calls Skylanders a done. Do we see a Spyro remaster for that reason?
That would be if Crash
with
does
Crash
well.
doing well. Crash is going to do well.
Yeah.
The pre-order numbers are looking good.
If that means we get into Spyro, I will buy Crash.
So yeah, I think Activision could learn.
Also, I feel like they're out of Guitar Hero plastic at this point.
Yeah, that's no Guitar Hero. I think that's done again. I'm not saying I'm sad.
I don't think it's done. I think they're just going to continue with the same game with just more songs being added.
That's the option.
Do you see Destiny 2 also on Sony's E3 stage? Do you double Activision, or do you see it on Xbox's stage? Stage.
I would say it's on Sony's if it's not on Activision.
Sony paid a lot to get the exclusive rights for a lot of stuff early on for one.
So there's fixing Sony's problem of not repeating last year. They just are going to show Activision. It's going to be the presentation.
All
sitting there with
Activision
Activision
all the
just,
time.
Here's the money, just keep it.
If that's what happens, what does Activision have left for their own stage? I mean, what does Activision really have up their sleeve? I haven't heard too many whispers.
Nothing.
Extended trailers, that's all they're going to have.
You know what? If Activision's main stage is just gameplay, like solid gameplay, show some of the MMO aspects of Destiny. Show like a full social system, like a chat and World of Warcraft style thing.
That's
like that.
I mean, that's what Destiny 1 really lacked.
Show a strike, show something like that, and we'd be happy.
I think Activision has a safe year. In fact, I think they have a pretty good year. Call of Duty World War II, I think, has a lot more people excited than Call of Duty's seen in the last 2 to 3 years. And Destiny 2, Destiny 2 fixed a lot of problems. I think Skylanders is the wild card. I vote no Skylanders at E3.
I will throw the same.
Or Skylanders Academy. We're going to see a remaster or like a Skylanders Academy spin-off game because that show seems to be doing well.
I can see them going cheaper and maybe using cards or something like that just to save on a little bit of the plastic.
Yeah,
problem.
well, they tried that though. There was that Skylanders card system. And
the battle, whatever it was.
I forgot it was.
Battlecast.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day.
Activision, you're doing good. Just throw us the wild card of Spyro.
Yeah, I think a Spyro remaster is my hopeful. Bethesda, wild cards.
Yeah, what are they even doing? That's the big question.
I think they've said Fallout's going to be the next main game they make of the Bethesda series.
Yeah, but I didn't expect Bethesda to have a press conference this year.
Are they
doing
Quake?
Bethesda has another press conference this year, and I thought that after last year, that's everything they've really shown us. We got Quake.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big thing because
they
showed it off and then they might show gameplay this year.
So we're at least getting some rumored announcements. Then Evil Within 2 is a huge speculated game coming out.
Quake and Evil Within 2, are those press conference?
No, and that's what I'm saying. There's something else I think Bethesda has.
I feel like it's that rumor that we've heard that there's going to be Fallout 5 before Elder Scrolls 6.
I was hearing a lot.
I feel like that's what it's going to be.
Fallout VR is still in development, so that's going to be something they could talk about.
I was hearing New Vegas remaster.
What about Starfield? It's okay. So there's a sci-fi RPG that Bethesda's talked about for like the last 7 years, and during recent interviews, there's some dots that you can connect that say that maybe it's finally ready. Maybe they're finally ready to show it off, and Bethesda needs maybe a new franchise at this point.
Yeah,
they're producing some good stuff with Dishonored and Evil Within and all.
Don't show Dishonored 3. Let the series rest for.
I agree. I don't want Dishonored 3 from you, Bethesda.
Definitely.
Please,
great games. Yeah, just
pump the brakes. So I think we have a potential to see another new IP, a sci-fi full fantasy space epic from Bethesda.
If they do it well, it could be great.
But they won't. I wonder if they're gonna play test their E3 presentation because
random wildcard they give us the real Prey 2.
I would almost be okay with that. I am not comfortable saying though at Bethesda's press conference this year we see Fallout or Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, I honestly hope not for those series. They're too big and take too long to make for them to show it off. Because if they show it off, it's gonna be buggier and worse than it was with Fallout 4.
Does Bethesda seize this opportunity and have Elder Scrolls Skyrim running on the Switch on stage?
That's probably what they're going to do.
I think that's a big opportunity. I mean, come on, you've got literally millions of units flying out right now. Why not take advantage of it and really nail it? But I don't think they...
I think with what you were saying before, where we want to make sure it's optimized well enough, they're gonna probably opt for the option of putting it into the Nintendo Direct and having it in there where they can make sure they can control anything that happens.
Yeah, well, because we all know how it's actually going to run.
Yeah.
So I think Bethesda really doesn't have any wild cards. Wolfenstein?
Yeah.
You know what? You give me a good
Wolfenstein was really good.
Water was great.
Or a continuation of the Doom reboot.
Yeah, or I
think for Doom.
I think it's too short. Too short of a time for Doom. So I think if anything,
it's a bit shorter. But
Wolfenstein hasn't had a game in a few more years than Doom. So.
I mean, Sony and Microsoft set the precedent of announcing things for the next year, anyways. 2018 Doom.
Yeah, it's a 2021 Doom. Doom 2.
Doom 2.
Yeah, the quest for more Doom.
Doom 2 on the moon.
Quest for more Doom on the
moon. Next developer I know I'm personally really excited to talk about is CD Projekt Red. They're a fan favorite of mine. I love the Witcher franchise. Yes, that's really all they've done. Yes, don't worry about it. You don't have to feel bad about not playing those games yet, but you should. They are working on a tabletop adaptation. I mean, an adaptation of a tabletop classic, Cyberpunk. They did it with The Witcher. Can they do it again? And will we see it this year?
I really hope. Cyberpunk's been in development, what now? 4 or 5 years?
I think 2 really known years, 3 like it whispered around. But I think it's enough time that maybe we might get some gameplay, but I'm just not sure if I could say that CD Projekt Red
At least
ready.
more than just the one trailer they released, what was that, the 2-3 years ago?
Yeah.
Have they cashed in on Gwent Mobile?
It's finally starting to hit, but yeah, it's not on mobile yet.
That would be a brilliant money-making scheme to help fund a couple of things.
I don't think they're hurting for money. The Witcher 3 sold really well.
Oh yeah,
I
personally I've only played Witcher 2 for a few hours, so I'm not anywhere in this conversation. But
it's one of my favorite Western developed RPGs. It's why, unfortunately, I'm not as excited about Bethesda as I used to be anymore. Them and EA kind of broke my hearts with the recent RPG franchises. But I digress, because speaking of digressing, EA. They've definitely had some great years, some bad years.
So what you're saying is we're going to see what we did last year of Madden. Focus on the Madden.
Well, I mean, I think
they gotta do. That's their money.
Yeah, Madden and FIFA make the money. Okay, I think we'll make this fun. Does NBA Live appear?
Oh god.
but it's bad. People are saying NBA Live's coming back again. I don't know why.
That's like saying we're gonna toss an RBI baseball when you have the show.
but RBI still sells, but only because it's on the Xbox.
It's the only one on Xbox. Does it sell on PlayStation?
I don't sell NBA Live. I don't see NBA Live doing anything. It doesn't move. No. But I think the big thing, I'm like, did they bring it this year? I say no. I say they finally admit that NBA Live has come to its close again. What do you guys think? I mean, this is just fun with sports, because none of us are big sports ball enthusiasts.
I mean, we might see... We're going to see a Battlefield? Or no, we're going to see Battlefront 2.
Well, yeah. Staying on the sports side of things, though, for EA, because we got to kind of separate that. Need for Speed got announced.
Yes.
And it looks promising. Yeah. I think the reboot self-titled was pretty good, too.
The Rival series wasn't bad.
Yeah, I think...
They got a chance.
It's back to being fun.
Yeah.
Just goofy Need for Speed fun.
You've got
that burnout hole.
You got stiff competition. Like Dirt just came out and that's reviewing really well, and you always got the Forza series and
Gran Turismo Sport.
Forza 7 and Gran Turismo Sport will probably both launch this year.
Gran Turismo ever launches.
I have a bad feeling for poor Need for Speed in that regard. So I don't know if it's going to do
the last one was kind
too
of a
crazy. You mentioned earlier, Pat, we had a whole announcement show for it. Battlefield 2 will be there, playable, bigger than ever.
That has to be their big game.
It will be their big game. I mean, all they have to do is, they have everyone's trust back by one trailer. I think a lot of us bought Battlefield 1 and went, this could have been better. And EA even just coming out and saying it could have been better, I think bought them a little bit of faith and time. This is their last opportunity. If they mess this game up, it's over for the Battlefield franchise.
Hey, they didn't win Worst Company of the Year last year, so we'll give them that.
What about Battlefront?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Star Wars, Battlefront.
I thought you were saying Battlefield, okay.
Why did they name them so close? I don't know. But yeah, Star Wars.
It was Battlefront a long time ago.
I think it's playable. I think the single player is going to rock. If you guys didn't play Spec Ops: The Line, it was one of the best third-person shooters. The writer for that game and his twisted mind is bringing that talent to the story campaign, which I think has incredible promise. So there's that open world Star Wars game that we saw during that Battlefront 2 unveil that they were talking about working on. Is that ready for E3? Do they bring a new trailer? And is it a Star Wars open world game?
Is it hopefully trailer ready?
Yeah.
If Battlefront is their big game, I'm going to say it will be kind of relegated to something later
a blip.
On. Yeah.
Yeah, that blip on the radar. I think it will get some mention. I don't think EA can afford to take a year off of it. Mm-hmm. I worry it's going to be all that in the bag of potato chips. Mm-hmm. I've been promised a lot of Star Wars games and a lot of things in that franchise.
I got the Boba one ripped out of my hand, so I don't know if I feel.
I feel like though with how fast they just announced it, I don't think it's going to be ready enough for them to make those kind of claims yet.
I think EA has a pretty good stage.
They not bad.
Okay, no, I think the one reason is, and it might not be the biggest deal for us guys, not as the big sports game players. I play MLB The Show. That's about all I play.
Same.
We're baseball guys. And EA Hockey, NHL as well every once in a while. But they're all running on Frostbite now.
Yeah,
I think that this is probably the largest upgrade we've seen in a sports game graphics engine in a while and a physics engine in a long time. So I guess
spatial software is going to be so nice.
Yeah, EA has some stuff. I think they have some of those sleeves and can go, and I think they definitely have the edge over Activision.
If you have FIFA, you've got money, so it's not like they're hurting.
Square-Enix.
2018 is my favorite year.
I have a love-hate with them.
Okay, let's start with the good. Dragon Quest XI.
Yes.
That's coming to PS4 and Switch.
They're releasing
but
a
in
game.
Japan.
Yeah, I think that game's getting confirmed for the United States, though.
But it's been on like every single console. It was on the Wii U.
Yeah,
and
I
we
think
never
this is the
saw
time
it.
we finally get it, though. I think Switch especially sees it.
It needs it.
I mean, we've seen
Yeah.
Dragon Quest
MMO.
Heroes.
No. Switch doesn't need it. Square Enix needs to release something.
Yeah, at this point, that's a big chunk
The
against them.
big
'cause-
question, I never saw the sales number, but did 7 and 8 do well over here on the 3DS? If they did well enough...
Yeah, they did well enough. I
Okay.
mean, I don't think they blew the
Oh,
roof
God.
off the building or anything, but
Nobody in America
They're no
understands
Bravely
good games.
Default.
I think there's enough there for them to finally possibly think about bringing that game westward, and that's cool. Other than that, Project Octopath, that weird
was-
pixel RPG for
that was
Switch,
stunning.
Really cool.
looks real cool. We don't know anything about it, so Square's got at least something to talk about
It
there.
could be utter garbage, but I'm still gonna buy it and play through it because
Yeah.
it's
Well, they-
eye-catching, and that's what I want from Square. I want them to give me an RPG, side-scrolling,
Yeah.
and then good-looking stuff.
Well, I Am Setsuna was a really good game, and
Yeah,
there's a
but-
sequel for
but
that
then
that
they-
we're getting. So
But they gave us something like Bravely Default, and then they got to give us something else.
yeah, Bravely Default's a really good example of what they do right. So besides their publishing endeavors, Kingdom Hearts 3, Final Fantasy VII Remake, vote them in office for 2020 because that's when these games are actually coming out. Are these games at E3 with the recent disappointing announcement
Here's
of
the
at
thing.
least a 1-year delay, but in an interview not too long ago saying it could be a 1 to 3 year delay on these projects?
Here's the thing.
What happens?
That's their big money. Until they release those, Square's going to be sitting on a slowly diminishing amount of money.
What? Well, yeah, exactly. And I think maybe they planned ahead of time. They weren't financially insecure before they started the Final Fantasy VII Remake process, which is probably going to help them out. But maybe they saw it coming. But these games are frustratingly delayed again. I can't even...
And one of them's episodic, so you have to not only wait for that, but you have to wait for it to be piecemeal to you.
Listen, I already got burned by Valve with Half-Life going episodic, okay?
Yes.
I just want to say that. And
Yeah.
I'm having flashbacks, and Vietnam is having... it's seriously, Square Enix has got to bring something big to this show with these games, or I honestly think I'm done with them. I can't.
Their big surprise.
Give me some actual gameplay.
Could
Show
they
me
do-
Final Fantasy VII
If
in
they're not going
motion.
to bring those, if they're going to bring something to be a big game, could they bring something set in the near Drakengard universe?
No, I don't care.
No,
They've
they put out
lost-
here, so
They're in the corner. They've got the dunce hat on right now. They're being scolded. They haven't learned, and this is it. They have to prove to me that they still care. These projects are 10 plus years.
and this is coming from somebody who's
And I'm a JRPG fanatic. Yeah.
I'm a huge
yeah.
fanatic, but I'm not a fan of either franchise. I like Final Fantasy. I've played Final Fantasy, but I never personally got into Kingdom Hearts. It's been actually kind of comical looking from the
watch
outside
this.
in, like seeing that you have to buy a Vita, a cell phone, a 3DS, a Wii, a PS4, a PS3 just to play the games, and then that great Kingdom Hearts series that you love has been piecemealed you 30 different times with
Yeah, and if you
remasters.
understand what's happening, please leave the entire story in the comment section below, because I have watched hour-and-a-half-long specials
It's-
about Kingdom Hearts, and
it's
it's become
Metal Gear
so
levels of
convoluted.
confusing.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
convoluted.
it's that bad.
But these games have got to come out, and they have got to be at E3 this year to continue any kind of hype.
Honestly, I think the only game we might see that they're going to announce that could come out in a relatively recent span is whatever Crystal Dynamics has been working on.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, the new Tomb Raider is in a weird place because it sounds like it might be switching developers.
Really?
Oh no, don't do
There's
that.
a lot of rumors. We're gonna get that all cleared up because right now Square, I believe, owns some of the Avengers junction that's going on right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a mess of paperwork, and
Yes.
I don't think there's any clear answers. We'll probably see what's happening
Iron
over the
Man and
next
Kingdom
year.
Hearts 3.
Because they're Disney and Marvel.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's this weird
that's money
flux where
problems.
people are
Well,
talking
if
about
they're-
Square Enix producing
If they are
a
holding
Marvel title.
Yeah, if they're holding it back, I just want
I don't care though. I want a
I
Final
want it.
Fantasy
I
game that's
want it.
done. I want a Kingdom Hearts game that hasn't taken 12 years to tell the worst story ever.
because it's going to be bad. It's going to be like
it'll be pretty.
I want Square to be Square again.
Yes.
I think is how I feel about it, and I'm sorry to sound frustrated. I'm sure I'm not the only Final Fantasy fan.
As he cuddles with his Secret of Mana copy in the corner.
Yeah, it's so frustrating to watch this happen. So for me, Square is kind of a touchy subject. I'm hoping they can bring something to the stage, have a salvageable presentation. They haven't in the last several years.
Let alone a presentation and not a business proposal to the world.
Yeah, their confidences are all over the place. And Final Fantasy VII Remake, I don't think it's even going to be worth my time.
No.
It's going to be nickel and dimed. Moving on to someone that I'm still kind of excited about. Take-Two is not my favorite studio because I'm not the largest Grand Theft Auto fan, but they're making a game that I am truly happy and excited for, and that's Red Dead 2.
Yes.
Red Dead 2 looks amazing. The first one is a great game. I cried at the end of it. If you didn't, you don't have a heart, don't worry. We can talk.
We've
Just message
proved
me.
that several times.
And we'll figure it all out. But Red Dead 2 gets delayed. It's not making this year. You still bring it to E3? Do you still show it? You have to show it.
At least a cinematic.
Because there's nothing else. NBA 2K is the only other franchise that I can say I know Take-Two is 100% going to have as a large presence.
If you don't show it, people will forget.
I don't think people will forget about Red Dead. It's got a lot of excitement, a lot of good numbers on the pre-orders. I worry that Rockstar delays everything. I don't think they've ever made a deadline at this point.
But that's for good reason. Their games are never bad.
No, and they're much more polished open world experiences than Bethesda or EA will bring with the Mass Effect franchise and Dragon Age franchise. So I will tip my hat to them. But I just want Take-Two to finish a game, production-wise. I want Rockstar to take it serious and really iron out a title. Because if we saw CD Projekt Red do what they did with the manpower they had for The Witcher 3, Rockstar should have no problem accomplishing their tasks for Red Dead 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you've been hearing this either, but I was hearing some whispers of a Bully sequel.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Okay, if they did that, that would be incredible. Put your B Squad on it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't really need the biggest holy cow development team for a game like Bully. So.
And I'm still, to this day, holding out hope for an L.A. Noir 2. Never happening. But
it's not going.
T-Bodie. Rest in peace.
Yeah, one single tear force them out, but...
So Red Dead's probably going to have a big trailer. Microsoft or Sony stage. It's going to be on one of them. And it's going to be a playable trailer, let's be honest. I think it's going to be on Sony's.
Sony's been the one dishing out the money this generation, unfortunately.
All the marketing seems to be
You
Sony.
said it yourself with a throne of PS4,
So anything else Take-Two could announce other than Bully? I didn't know that. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I really would be excited to have Take-Two announce that. So
not really sure.
Ubisoft. I'm gonna just get out.
Yes.
You guys can talk about this developer.
I'm gonna go throw up for a minute, come back.
First of all, they need a salvageable E3 presentation. Their last few years have been uncomfortable, weird. I don't like.
I'm still waiting.
Taylor.
Yeah.
That's her name, right?
Yeah.
She's not funny to me.
Hey,
She's offensive.
#Girlwood. Hashtag Girlwood. I am still waiting for my Ubisoft laser tag game. What the hell happened to it?
So games that Ubisoft might announce like a pseudo pretend to fame some carrying on.
Well,
so Far Cry 5 just got announced. It's gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, which is great.
I find that entertaining.
I find that entertaining. I just have played Far Cry now a few too many times.
You mean you played Far Cry 3?
It's become formulaic. It's become a problem. This game doesn't. I don't see it bringing that big boom.
It's spinning its wheels right now.
When games like
they're just trying to play the holy cow factor.
Yeah,
you know,
what's
the
factor? I'm spacing on the name. Dinosaur, post-apocalyptic shooting robotic dinosaurs.
Horizon.
Horizon came out, did their exact same formula and did it better. Ark.
Ark did exactly futuristic dinosaurs. Ark.
Yeah, Ark.
Have you played Ark? No.
No, but it just they need to do something cool with it. And the heart of every one of those games is being controversial. Their second game had like the Asian character who had the slaves in front of him in the original.
And I'm
like,
fine with that.
Yeah,
this one just seems a little too much.
That's why I like
you
it.
Don't mess with Christian conservative America.
But it gets your name out there, and that's what they need.
Things.
You automatically think of it now because it has this negative connotation.
I agree.
And
so if it's got
marketing.
even a remotely looking different gameplay interface and weapon system, I'll check it out a little bit.
3 was amazing.
3 is a great game,
and it was something that was different. They need to completely revamp the franchise.
They need to mix it up.
It can't just be go here, go tower, you're done.
Yeah.
Don't give us another Breath of the Wild.
Yes.
Even though they did it first, I'll give Breath of the Wild all the credit. Do we see Ubisoft talk about Assassin's Creed this year?
I feel like
it's back. Assassin's Creed did well last year.
Assassin's Creed Origins or whatever it is that I want to say is the rumors.
Well, Origins actually is a re-release remaster of the on the Xbox One, PS4, but I know that every year they talk about Assassin's Creed as a rumor. Do they show one this year? Do they give the franchise another year off? Do they learn?
They've had that rumor floating that they were going to release one. They were going to take the year off and release the ancient Egypt themed one. I want to say
they did a good job of not actually putting out a full scale one for over a year.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's not they've had their year. The frat kid that stopped drinking for one night. They're just going to go back to pound it. Yeah. So do you think Assassin's Creed makes it? I don't care what time period it takes place in. It's going to be Assassin's Creed. If you're a fan of the Assassin's Creed franchise, they're not bad games.
Yeah,
they're not.
I'm still a fan of them, but
they're disappointing at times. They're so samey.
But since number 3, the story, they have no idea what they're doing. They said themselves they know how the game ends, and they're going to just keep pumping them out until they finally can put, here's our final game.
I personally think Assassin's Creed does get announced because Ubisoft is that studio for me. So
they're that. I love
Assassin's Creed. I will buy them all. I will play them. I'm a history nerd, but I need a reason to buy it.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 will... never come out.
No,
I'm going to go ahead and say I think this game does not appear at E3. I think it's an easy prediction.
If it comes out, it's going to be exactly like what happened with Bayonetta. It's going to be on the Switch, and then everyone's going to be forced to buy a Switch, but nobody's going to buy it because they didn't want to buy a Switch yet.
Yeah. So at that point, there's a rumor of a Splinter Cell for
I could see a Splinter Cell.
We haven't seen a Splinter Cell in a while. Kojima's gone. Kojima's gone, though. Like, you own the intellectual property to Splinter Cell. Kojima has gone from Konami. Metal Gear is turning into a zombie survival 4-player co-op game.
Ubisoft licensing Kojima Studios to make a Splinter Cell game?
No, I don't see that, but I see them taking advantage of the property. There's no other stealth espionage game.
Yeah.
Why not? I think this is the year for it, and the rumors sound like it could happen. I put it as a medium likeliness.
Especially with what Konami's put out for what will be the next Metal Gear game. We don't want to talk about that.
The moment of silence I'll edit out, but oh god, Konami, what have you done?
Konami's mighty.
So at that point, that leaves South Park.
Yeah.
With Ubisoft, that's finally coming out. Matt Stone fighting to the rooftop to get this game released. Ubisoft, of course, probably doing their best too, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But the problem is being owned by Ubisoft now. They strip things from the game that they don't like. If it's you can't have anything insulting the French.
Yeah,
because it's their home company. It annoys me. That's why I wish with THQ that actually had it.
Either.
Yeah.
That's why I wish they never went under. Because now that Nordic's here, I was hoping they would grab it back and actually put it out. But
Ubisoft's not going to let go. Stick of Truth was too successful. So I think South Park fractured butthole. Yes. I'm going to say the comma because this is a family appropriate show. I'm joking. I think that's going to be a huge part of Ubisoft's presentation. I think that's really their biggest gun. Other than that, they've got some rumors, speculation. We don't know.
Before we move on, quick question: do you think that this Rabbids thing is real?
Oh yeah, no, it's real. I really do believe. Okay. Yeah, it's something we didn't touch on in Nintendo because there's too much other big stuff for me to talk about.
Not important.
I think that a lot of us who grew and love the Mario RPG franchises, this game is not what I want. It's not going to be what I care about. And
original Paper Mario, new Paper Mario, this game.
Yeah, and even new Paper Mario having some issues. Sticker Star, we won't talk about it. But unless they show me something that's truly unique, quirky, the Rabbids are done for me. They're minions of the video game world. I'm fine with not having them. And I'll buy it for my collection because it will be a first-party jointed game, and I'll keep it. And I don't know if I'll play it.
Speaking of which, do we maybe see another Rayman?
No,
they didn't sell well enough. I would love to say, but they didn't sell well enough.
Movie art was such a huge thing for them, and they just completely destroyed it because nobody likes pretty games.
And on top of that, I think a large chunk of those teams are gone and don't exist anymore.
Call of Duties.
Yeah. So I think Ubisoft has... all they gotta do is just keep their mouth shut, stop being offensive, and just have a stage presentation for me. I just can't put into words how sick of Ubisoft.
No forced selfies with random people dressed as Assassin's Creed characters.
Yeah, man.
Please don't do that.
I don't want to be
No Mr. Caffeine, no Aisha Tyler. Just have have Izguimo come out and just talk. That's fine. He has an accent, but he speaks a lot better than Aisha Tyler.
So after Ubisoft and our mutual feelings of slight disappointment already, I think there's only one left. WB, Warner Brothers.
More disappointment.
Who's probably going to maybe talk about Injustice 2 again.
They're going to put out packs and get more clothes.
I don't know if they've talked about Injustice 2 enough. They've talked about Injustice 2 a lot.
It's a great game.
Yeah, it's a fine game, but man, the marketing dollars are playing hard. You got Middle Earth though, Shadow of War.
Oh yeah.
Which is going to be awesome.
Not as disappointing. I forgot about that.
Yeah, Shadow of Mordor, I think, surprised me. It won my 2015. Without that game, 2015 was a slog.
Well, it was literally came down to that game and Dragon Age Inquisition.
Yep. And I didn't like Dragon Age Inquisition one bit.
Boy, things that show you have some problems. No, Witcher was released in 2015 at the late end, wasn't it?
No.
I thought it was...
Yeah, because 2016 was when Blood and Wine came out at the beginning of the year, so Witcher was... So, never mind.
Yes.
Shadow of Mordor, you did well.
Yes.
I liked you. Shadow of War,
no, Witcher was in the middle of the year. It was in a May release.
It might have been.
Either way.
It was a good game. It did its job. I think it's going to get a lot of attention.
Shadow of Mordor was 2014, that's why.
Nah, there you go. So you fixing dates for me, Pat. Thank you. But it's a game I can get excited about. It will be fun to play, but it's not going to generate a whole lot of E3 hype for me personally.
Yeah,
you guys?
Really.
No.
I only got a small bit of time with the first game, so I'm not a big.
Go back to it though; it's really good.
I do. I loved everything about the mechanics. The whole general mechanic was super cool, but I never got. There was my game pile is just stacking. And stacking,
it's bad. Especially this year, so far it's been bad. I think I honestly, if Ubisoft announces Assassin's Creed, I'm just gonna go. All right, well now I'm really playing Shadow of War. The only other thing is the Batman. WB, of course, has had incredible success. They released 4 really stellar Batman games.
One bad PC port.
Yeah.
One bad PC.
Yeah, a really bad PC port. Rocksteady done with Batman.
Oh yeah.
Does WB find a new studio to take the helm?
Why not?
Maybe.
You got the engine that will work for you. You got everything kind of set up. All you need is new stories and new
encounters. It's big money. You just start taking Batman comics and lore and just tying it into a storyline and you're done.
It would be pretty easy. Like
yeah.
Make a killing joke game. Actually fix that terrible animated film that we got.
Hey, who doesn't want to sleep with their young cohort?
You made it weird, Killing Joke. You made it weird.
Why would you do that, DC?
I think that's all WB really has, though.
There might be one other thing if they...
Do they have a Mad Max surprise for us?
Or I'd say, do we hear if NetherRealm's making Mortal Kombat 11?
That's true. That's a very strong possibility. I think we maybe get teased about that. If that's the time to do it.
But 10 is still pretty big in the
community.
In the fighting game
and
community.
Injustice just came out, so I know they're going to spend some time with the DLC before they work on it. But they might tease.
They might tease it, but I think you show too much, you ruin sales for Injustice 2 on yourself.
And if you make Mortal Kombat yearly, you're going to kill all.
Well, it wouldn't be
Kombat a year though.
It's been about a year.
Yeah, that's why it wouldn't be super shocking. But I'm going to be honest. I think NetherRealm spent a lot of time on Injustice 2.
I think they're probably taking a break.
Yeah, that game is really big and expansive.
As much as I would, as an old school, having played it when I grew up, Mortal Kombat fan, I'd love to see Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I don't play it as much as I play a lot of other fighting games, but
good story modes.
It's not bad.
That's what they're known for in Injustice and Injustice 2. So I don't think I'm going to place that as a very low
maybe
that we see Mortal Kombat 11. I don't think WB, as much as they seem to love money, takes any steam away from Injustice 2 because it's selling really well. So honestly, guys, that rounds out third-party E3 presentations we can worry about. I think that rounds out E3 as a whole really well for us. I hope you guys had a ton of fun watching us round out that E3. What games by third parties are you excited about? Do you care about Call of Duty anymore? Is Destiny 2 going to be the game that you and your friends play for the next year? How devastated were you at Red Dead's delay? I mean, third parties are kind of wild because it's tough. There's no really third-party fanboys. You don't hear anyone go like, "Oh, I'm a hardcore EA fan." No, you kind of take them and leave them if they're good or bad games. And I think we all want good E3s, so we all kind of want these guys to succeed. Right?
Yeah,
I think
Give us some Pestilence love, too.
More games means more games.
Yeah, so I down below, let us know, third-party wise, what you're excited about. What rumors you hope are true. I'm hoping Skylanders is done. Number one rumor I'm hoping is true. So
anybody working in retail.
Anyone working in retail wants Skylanders to be done. Activision, make it happen for us. But that's it, guys. We really appreciate you coming along on this E3 journey. We're going to be back post E3. It's probably going to be a hype train, crazy rollout episode. We're going to try to maybe bring everyone back. Maybe even get a different recording space because my game room is just, it's filled with some crap these days.
Lots of leg drums, too, because we're going to be so
it's going to be hype train city. So we don't have a schedule for that, guys. I think we'd all love to be back the week after E3, like that Friday. So keep an eye out for that. I will try to post updates where I can on the social media, so make sure you follow us there. But as always, guys, thank you so much for sharing, and subscribing our videos. E3, it's literally, it's days, guys.
Yes.
It starts Saturday this
soon.
year because everyone decided to not follow a schedule. It's Saturday, Sunday presenters, Monday presenters, Tuesdays Nintendo. This is a weird year. Saturday, Bethesda. You started something terrible by doing Sunday night. It's just
technically Nintendo started it with their Direct right before E3 every year.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I like them too much to be mad at it.
And for those of you watching, I know Twitch always streams, but YouTube has said they have a program going forward as well.
But that said, guys, do have a great day. Enjoy E3. We will see you back here soon. And remember, until then, to keep playing what you love.
Hype train!
Thanks, guys. Woo!